Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today on Radeon, it's going to be Artosis versus Airfou in a weird matchup. Airfou is a former Kespa pro, and I feel like he outmatches Artosis by a lot. So, we will see how Artosis tries to handle him here on Radeon. Bottom left, it's going to be Airfou. He is a red Protoss. Top left, green Terran player. Artosis, he's got his own YouTube channel. You probably already know about it. And he streams on Twitch. The Twitch streams are not for the faint of heart, but you probably already know that as well. So this is going to be a Patreon cast for those of you supporting me on patreon.com/FalconPaladin for at least $1 a month. And if you're watching this the week of December the 6th, 2024, thanks so much for supporting me. I really do appreciate it. And if you're watching this in 2025 or later, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, man. I'm here 6 times a week with incredible VODs for you guys. And I'm also streaming 6 times a week here on YouTube and on Twitch simultaneously with pro replays and live games with subscribers. It's a really fun time. And maybe I'm streaming now. Come say hello. Eh? I'll say hello back. I do read the chat. Unlike other streamers that I could name, but I will not. I'm not big enough that I cannot read the chat. Okay, so gateway opening here. Not a Nexus first here for Airfou. Barracks coming up right next to the supply depot because Zealots could be on the way. And scouting here is Mr. Probe, PD the Probe. And, oh, are we going to... no gas here. Are we going to do a gateway expand here? On Radeon, it's a risky play, but again, Airfou is a former Kespa pro. So maybe he's just arrogant, facing off against Artosis. I kind of feel like everybody knows that Valks is Artosis, but maybe not. Okay, so there's the gas. Never mind. Cybernetics core into Singularity Charge, into a Dragoon, and Dragoon pressure here from Airfou. Just good standard PvT play. The probe says, okay, fair enough. You've got yourself a nice Sim City here, so Zealots are on the way, but I'm not counting on them getting a lot of work done here today. Yeah, there's the Cyber Core. There it is, the Cybernetics Core. Factory? Yeah, factory on the way here from Artosis. Not wanting to play the Dragoons attacking the bunker game today, and I do not blame him for it at all. Yo, all right. So, what's going on? What's going on in December? It is cold in the northern hemisphere and super hot in the southern hemisphere in December, but you probably already knew that. And here we go, Robert the Zealot coming in, retreating to the Sim City. Ooh. Just, oh, nice SCVs. Nice SCV blocking there. Okay, so 1 Marine for 1 Zealot. That is an equitable trade. Well, not equitable, but trade in favor of the Terran player here. Singularity Charge coming up. Another Zealot. Wow, Airfou. All right, man. What's going on here? Yeah, so turning around? Yeah, turning around because this Terran is a little bit too good. Little bit too good for 1 Zealot to do much damage against them, right? That's how I feel about it. Singularity Charge again on the way here. Expansion. Singularity Charge makes it safe to expand. Yeah. Oh, Vulture. Run, Vulture, run. Let's see which upgrade the machine shop will research first here today. I want to say it's going to be... I want to say siege tanks. The way that Artosis has been playing is very, very safe. And siege tanks is the safe option for the first upgrade for the machine shop. The aggressive option would be Vulture speed. And I feel like Spider Mines is in the middle, right? You could be aggressive with Spider Mines. You could be defensive with Spider Mines. It's like the, tale of Goldilocks. This strategy is too aggressive. This strategy is too passive and defensive. This strategy is just right. And I think that's what Spider Mines are. Oh, look at Artosis going Spider Mines first. Okay. Let's see if he's aggressive with him or defensive with him. SCV comes in for the scouts. He's absolutely nothing out of order here. I mean, he'd love to know. Yeah, he'd love to know if there was a robotics bay coming up after this robotics facility, but he won't. Right? Does he need to worry about Reavers? Yes. Statistically, he does in this matchup. Need to worry about Reavers. He's not playing against Snow. But, I mean, every Protoss player is influenced and, you know, just inspired by Snow in his Reaver play. There have been other players in the past who are good with Reavers, and Protoss have been using Reavers in this matchup for decades. But it's a matter of how worried do you have to be about the Reavers? That is really the question here. So here's a push out. It's almost like a one-base push out in order to punish a Nexus first play from a Protoss Marine, Vulture, Siege Tank. Just trying to get these tanks off of his lawn, but I mean, they're getting some decent, yeah, really nice trades, actually. Ugh, another Marine down. None of these guys have died. Haven't heard a Dragoon die yet. 4 kills on this one Dragoon. That is incredibly powerful. And yeah, Spider Mines up. Observatory coming in. He's worried about the Spider Mines, as he well should be, because guess what? They're already here, man. So Zealot absorbs Spider Mine hit. Oh, but he doesn't see this one. Oh, takes a Dragoon with it. The double Spider Mines take down Airfou's Dragoon here, and now he's mad. Now he's out for blood. Here comes Airfou. He's just here to kill siege tanks. These Dragoons know they're dead. Oh, okay, never mind. They don't come close to killing that tank. Every Dragoon dies. He goes from losing no Dragoons to losing all of the Dragoons very quickly and tragically, and my goodness, that was tough. That was tough to watch. So Airfou kind of messing up a little bit there. Still got 300 APM. Artosis cruising at 260 or so. And as I said earlier, RJB sent me this replay, all right? He just has contacts with many StarCraft players, a lot of pros, Korean and otherwise, and he figures out which ones are the best and sends them to me. Lets me know which ones are amazing. There's a robotic support bay coming in, and which ones are really good, right? He sends me really good ones, and he sends me amazing ones. That's how this works on the channel. Yeah, they're always a good time. They're always exciting. I just posted a Snow versus Fantasy game a couple days ago. Again, Patreon cast. So some of you, it's a couple days ago. For most of you watching this, it'll be in December, on December 3rd, 2024. So a while ago yet. But it's Fantasy, and it's Snow, and it's on Nemesis. You know that map. Man, it's an amazing PvT. If you like this matchup, that's an incredible one for sure. Snow's doing all of his shenanigans. Fantasy's doing all of his mass siege tank stuff. It's great. We're trying to bust through this. Look at Artosis' aggression here, man. He's trying to come right into the front door, getting on top of these probes on the natural base of Airfou. Dang, probes kind of have to fight in this battle. Never good. Sieging up. Sieging up. Tank, get the siege tank first. He's the priority. He does get taken out before he gets a second shot off. Other tank is here, gets 1 kill. Another shot on a Dragoon, and that's it. So, woof. A lot of lost mining time there. Definitely some dead probes in the mix, too. Third base is up. I don't think Artosis knew to check for that or didn't think to check for it. And he probably wishes he should have, because he got, sure, a couple probes here. And a couple Dragoons went down, and he busted in, which was very nice. But he maybe could have killed this third Nexus and really busted this game wide open for himself. But, you know, hindsight is 20/20. Being able to see the whole minimap is a hack. And it's a cheat. And that's, you know, from the caster perspective, that's what we have, right? Unless, of course, we're playing with one player's vision only, which I've definitely done before. I posted those VODs, and they're pretty fun. I think it does mix it up a little bit when you can only see one player's vision for the entire time, like this, for example, right? We can only see Artosis' vision right now, and when does he recognize... Oh, yeah. He was ready for that shuttle, man. He knows where players want to drop on this map. Shuttles, or missile turrets here, shuttles also here. Like, he didn't spread out turrets. They are right next to each other on the left side. He figured it out. These probes need to get to work for sure. Citadel of the Dune coming in. Going for them Zealot legs. Goliaths on the way here, too, to help deal with those pesky shuttles that probably contain Reavers. Although I'm not sure he knows that, right? The man doesn't have ComSat yet, so he hasn't scouted the main base. He probably will scan as soon as that pops up. He'll probably scan the main if I had to guess where he's going to go with it. Just do a quick check on the tech. And there we go, but maybe keeping some energy in case there's DTs as well, because he doesn't know if that shuttle had DTs in it, or Reavers, or maybe just some Zealots, right? So there's the scan, and he does scan the main. So now he sees, okay, robotic support bay, Forge, Citadel, great. We're not going carriers, we're not going DTs. Cool. Don't have to save my scans for DTs, at least not right now. Later, possibly, maybe. Leg enhancements coming in. Because, of course. I mean, you can wait a little bit on those, but, you know, early game is just a lot of goons for the most part. It's when the enemy has a lot of siege tanks that the Zealots with the speed come into play. Spider mining down a potential 4th base here for the Protoss. Again, I'm not sure if he knows about this. Clicked on the wrong thing there. I'm not sure if he knows about this 3rd, but he has to assume. Does he think this is a 2-base attack from the Protoss, and that's why he's... I don't know. He's not really turtling by any stretch here. Yeah, he's moving out, sieging up, trying to delay with the Reaver stuff. Reaver, no, doesn't get a hit off. The shuttle dies too. It's honestly a little bit sloppy from Airfou. I've seen Airfou play extremely well on the channel. But, you know, maybe he's out of practice a little bit. He was a former Kespa pro. He doesn't have a Liquipedia page right now, which means he's not actively competing. So maybe he is a fair matchup for Artosis at the moment. That's cool. I mean, it would make sense why this game would be good. I think Airfou at his peak would pretty much wipe the floor with Artosis, but if Airfou's off of his peak, maybe he's not playing as much anymore, then sure. This could turn into a pretty interesting match, which, again, why RJB is sending it in. We've got a Temple Archives coming in for Storm, probably more than anything else. Zealots, there we go. Charging in right on those tanks, trying to maybe drag Spider Mines in there, but I don't see any of those. Tanks not dying as fast as Airfou wants them to would be my guess here. And okay, fine. Dragoons say we'll do it ourselves. And does get another one there. Trading out Dragoons for tanks. Do it. Do it. Right? An uneducated viewer might watch this and say, but all of his Dragoons died. But yeah, how many tanks died? Like 5 or 6? Worth it. Because no Terran's going to move out with 2 siege tanks. It's suicidal. You're not going to do it. Yeah, and like all these guys running out ahead, couple Goliaths, couple Vultures, handful of Dragoons can handle this, no problem. I mean, you don't want to take Spider Mines to the face or anything, but, you know. But don't ya know here. Okay, woof. This is interesting. 3rd base on location here, down to the south here, about a, we'll call this like a 10 o'clock spot for Artosis. He's getting a 3rd, right? For a long time, he was a 2-basing Terran. He would make 2 bases, and he would attack. And that was his strat. But guess what? 3 bases and then attacking is even better. So he's doing a lot of Terran players are doing now and going for 3 bases and attacking. And being pretty darn active with his Vultures here, too, which is a sign of a good Terran player. Right? The ones that sit back with their Vultures and wait for the Protoss to come attack them do not move out at all with their Vultures. No Spider Mines, no scouting, no harassment. They're bad. Those ones are bad Terrans. They'll probably get pretty high on the ladder, but they're not going to get up into the S rank, up, you know, trying to compete for major tournament wins or anything like that. They're never going to do it. Storm is on the way from the Protoss. Any sign of carriers from him? No. Cybernetics core is still and quiet at the moment. Another scan reveals he's checking the same thing. He's like, is there any sign of carriers? No. Cool. I'll continue making siege tanks and Vultures then, and, you know, a couple Goliaths here and there to deal with your drop ships. Your shuttles, which do dropping. Ho, ho, ho. 4th base here. Cleared out the Spider Mines. Walled it off against incoming Vulture attacks. He knows the Vultures have been active today. They've been a problem. They'll probably continue to be. A starport gets fired up. It's a little late for a start. No, I guess it's for science vessels, though. I was like, we're getting wraiths here? Nah, probably science vessels. A little bit of EMP, a little bit of D-Matrix, right? Spellcasters versus spellcasters. If your opponent has Storm and you don't have any spells you're casting, probably not going to be a good time. EMP on a group of High Templar is insanely powerful. So powerful. Ah, it's sieged up. Look at Airfou expanding. Ah, that it was expanding twice. Okay, fine. This 5th base is cool. I'm fine with it, but a 6th base would be aggressive? Never mind. He tricked me into thinking he wasn't, and then he was. Cool. 6th base. Big fan. Big fan of playing this way in PvT. Expand a bunch. Part of what's allowing this to happen is that he got in there and killed all those tanks early, right? So no real move out from the Terran anytime soon. He has to get his tank count back up. He's got a +1 attack upgrade, which is nice. The Protoss is at +1 here, too. And yeah, You're not checking this bottom left. Get out of here, vultures. Obviously, I probably have bases down there. You don't know, and I'm not going to let you know unless you scan it. Use your energy to scan these corners instead of scanning my main base so I can sneak some tech on you, maybe. But yeah, I love seeing double Nexus in that production tab. It's a sign of a good Protoss at this stage of the game against a Terran. Oh, he does fire up. Okay, hang on. Throws up a Stargate. Throws up a +1 attack here on the Cyber Core. We could be getting the carriers. Oh, man. Artosis hates the carriers. We might get some ARTY rage here. Possibly. Right? That's the thing about rageful players in StarCraft is they don't rage every game. But it's a possibility every time you click on it. Let's see if we get it. Stargate, it could be a fake out, right? Sometimes you see players get the +1 attack and then just get arbiters with their Stargate tech. We've seen Snow do that before. The man had like 10 arbiters and they had +2 attack or +3 or something insane, right? So it could be what Airfou's going for. I think it'd be hilarious. Could there an amulet on the way? Do we get a fleet beacon now? There's the scan. Oh, it's not a scan though. It's just a scan to see other bases. Well, he still didn't do it. Fleet bacon for Protoss, charging in his Airfou. Storm on everything. Dragoons firing up here too. Storm. Tanks down everywhere. Getting steamed up. Getting steamed hams up here. Getting broiled up. No sign of that fleet peeking in the production tab there from Airfou. He's fully concentrating on this situation here where he storms the tanks, then sends in some goons and zealots to actually take them down once they've had their HP removed. There's the fleet beacon. Continuing to scan to deal with this army. He's not scanning to check for carriers at all. It's at 117 supply. He's got enough supply to make a ton of Goliaths if necessary, right? The problem sometimes happens when you're maxed out and you recognize your opponent's going carriers, and then you're like, I can't tech in to Goliaths because I'm already maxed out. I mean, you're already in the tech. That's the thing. You've teched into Goliaths. It's just going to your factories and making Goliaths, which you can't do because you have a maxed out army. Carrier capacity getting fired up here. Big fan of that stuff. There's your scan. Come on, Artosis. You've been scanning the main base pretty consistently throughout this game. If you don't know, you don't know. He's making a Wraith, though, which is very weird because I thought he was just going science vessels, but apparently it is for a Wraith, at least one. But there haven't been shuttles in this game. There was that one shuttle early, but okay, here it is. I think this might be the one shuttle from earlier, right? That's the one. But dude, it is carriers, and it is carriers, and it is carriers. Look at this fourth base. Ooh, little Stormdropper Rooney. Tried to get some kills there. I don't think it did a whole lot. There's a lot of SCVs, and that pull looks pretty fantastic. Yeah, another base coming up right side at about a 4 o'clock spot here from Airfou. And it is science vessels in that production tab, so carriers on the way. Nothing but tanks in the production tab here from Artosis. Again, he could tech in, start making Goliaths to get up to like 50 supply of Goliaths in addition to the rest of his army. It'd be a pretty formidable Terran force because it's gonna be hybrid Protoss, right? A bunch of the games that I've cast earlier in my career involved just mass carrier fighting Terran, and there were no High Templar, no Dragoons, no Zealots, no nothing. But then Protoss figured out that dealing with the Goliaths was a little bit easier if you had Charge Lots and Dragoons attacking them in addition to your carriers, right? There we go. He gets the scad off. He sees the 3 Stargate. He sees the fleet beacon. And immediately the man fires up 7 Goliaths. There we go. That is the moment of truth, everybody. This is where the scan says, all right, the carriers have arrived, and so have the Goliaths in that case. Here they are, the little blimps looking good. Yeah, little jets on the back there. Fancy design for sure on those carriers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 base carrier from Airfou. And Artosis is casually 2, 3, 4, a 5th base for this guy in the top right. Covering this area with Spider Mine just to make sure you can't run a couple of Zealots up there and shut this down. Love that. Yeah, so we're going to turn into a big old setup. Actually, I just realized, doesn't Scan sometimes play under the Valk's name because he coaches Artosis, and he kind of, like, impersonates him every once in a while. This could be Scan, actually. Under the Valk's name. I don't know. I don't know. I'll get the right name on the title when this thing posts. I'll have to ask RJB about it, but... Alright, maxed out Protoss, maybe not attacking into a fairly maxed out army of mechanized infantry here. +2/+1 upgrades on that mech. 2-1-1 here from the Protoss, getting shoved all the way back right now. Some Terrans, when they recognize that carriers are coming, will just move, right? Everything they have, they'll make a move for either the main base or one of these outer expansions. Try to kill the newer bases for the Protoss, recognizing, yeah, the carriers will probably kill all of my tanks, but not before a couple of Nexuses go down. Can be a pretty good trade if you're careful with it, but just using Storm to delay, sniping off that Science Vessel would be pretty nice. Spellcasters, there you go. Spellcasters going down is always big in StarCraft, no matter what the Spellcaster is. Yeah, so yes, this is where he comes down. It doesn't really have enough to handle like 10 carriers, but there probably aren't 10 carriers on the map right now anyway. So what he's gonna do is he's gonna take down this base. The storms are good. Some units are coming in from the natural to try to harass a little bit. But this is a giant chunk of tanks. 12 siege tanks in this group. Makes sense, right? That's the maximum in a control group in Brood War. Gonna try to fire up. Killing that High Templar would be nice. He's gonna be a threat at some point. And now here come the carriers from the high ground, right? So they're trying to stay out in the fog of war. There's got to be a scan revealing these guys. There it is. Yeah, there was a scan, and now we're back plunged into the fog of war here. So, yeah, at this point, all these tanks are dead. They really just need to focus on the guaranteed damage of some probes here. And then the rest of your shots want to go into that Nexus, probably. But he does seem to be firing on ye old, yeah, pylons instead. So, fair enough, I guess. And there you go, simultaneously pushing the 6 o'clock base. So, a couple probes died there, Nexus lived. I don't know if we're getting this Nexus either, actually. The carriers are coming over. There are exactly 3 Goliaths with this group. So that's not going to work out for you. This is casually a 7-carrier group. A fleet of 7 carriers, if you may. Zealot bombing these tanks too, not even waiting for the carriers. Yeah, saving the Nexus, and everything's fine. So, good attempt, I guess, to get some damage done before dealing with just all of the carriers known to mankind. Didn't expand behind that either. Did Valks here. Not a base there, not a base here. I feel like one of those should be a base. Yeah, got an obs with the group too. Absolutely, positively. Remember when there was a Wraith earlier? Where did that guy go? Wraith boy, where are you? Did you try to fight these carriers and get immediately killed? Are you, like, patrolling against drops up this way? That'd be pretty good. No? Probably dead, if I had to guess what he's up to. Dude, how did he sneak this up here? He just sneaks up a bunch of speedlots. Remember when I was like, yeah, we covered that area with spider mines so that this couldn't happen, and then it totally happened. All right. Well, the SCVs have to run for their lives. Oh, that Vulture was not microed at all, trying to shut that thing down. We're kind of microing over here, too. Taking some body shots on the carriers. Got to fall back. Got to do that carrier micro stuff. Right? Ooh, this High Templar, wow, walks right up there. Pretty good dodge on the storms there by the Goliath. They're a little bit nimble, if clumsy, at times. And once again, there's the scan, because the carriers are parked on the high ground, and getting body shots on them is impossible. Generally, although, wow, getting some good hits here, though. Yeah. All right, carrier micro looking good. Another scan to reveal this high ground. You can see the observer there because of it. Carriers are taking some hits, but also the Goliaths are getting winnowed down as well. And slowly, it's 190 to 134 supply. And Valks here is in a lot of trouble. What APM does Artosis play at these days? Is 260 too high for him? I don't feel like it is. He plays pretty fast. I've been to his streams a couple times. kept an eye on that. Ooh, good snipe on a carrier to make them pull back for now. Doesn't like what he sees with all these Charon boosted boys with 3 attack and 2 armor and pretty brutal stuff here. That is going to be a +3 air attack for the Protoss finishing up here soon. That's nice. Hard to get that in a game where you don't start with carriers, right? Ooh, we're just kind of walking... just kind of walking High Templar up this way. Sure hope there aren't any spider mines to shoot us in the face. And the top right base is in trouble. Yeah, I think Airfou might have this. Yeah, Vulture attacks getting shoved away because there are cannons in strategic positions here. And unless it's 197 to 118 supply, like, I do not see this working at all for Valks. Great storms. Carriers holding back, providing so much damage. Infinite amounts of damage here from these interceptors with that +3 attack. It's ship plating upgrades coming in. And that's your GG. Bam. That is a win for the Protoss. And again, I don't... I don't know. I'm not going to call this an epic game. I think it was a really, really nicely played... Right? A really, really nicely played PvT there by Airfou. Absolutely. So, man, that was a good game there from Airfou for sure. The expansions, the number of gas geysers he was able to acquire here on Radeon is just way, way too high. He's even spending it, well, actually 2,000 gas in the bank isn't spending it super well, but he's maxed out, so whatever. And then, yeah, maybe 3 carriers died during the whole time there, but when you've got another 8 remaining after that, the trades were too good. The high ground spots were too sneaky. This one was good too, and there was just not enough there. I don't know if... A couple things here, right? I think Valk should have expanded to these bases a little bit more quickly. I think that would have helped a lot. And then I think scouting the carrier transition sooner would have helped too. So those 2 things were problematic. At the end of the day, Airfou gets the win. It's a really, really nice gateway man opening into carriers, crossing his fingers, hoping he doesn't get scanned when this happens early, right? It's not scanned until the first 3 carriers are about to pop out. And I mean, at this level, with this level of Protoss that we're seeing here, it's going to be really, really hard to turn that into a win from the Terran perspective. And whether this is Scan or Artosis, I'm not sure either of them are really up to Airfou's quality of play. Again, there was some sloppy stuff here from Airfou. He didn't, wasn't playing like snow or anything, but played well enough to get the win for sure. So, GG to him. And let's check out that final score. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the PvT with the carriers. Right on. Outproducing the Protoss was Valks. Got out killed though. Structures raised 16 to 7. And then resources and outspend. A beautiful bit of outspend here by the Protoss. By, let's say, 18,000 resources in 25 minutes. Yeah. That's gonna do it. That is going to do it for sure. So that's a GG. And that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.